We don't get to hear our eulogy, but every single day we are writing it. So are you an inspiration or are you a cautionary tale? I do find it one of the fascinating things that people who lead great lives, in whatever definition of greatness you aspire to be, often think about death. And they think about the legacy that they're going to leave behind. They think about the impact that their life has left on others. And that can be on the micro, in the small, in, down to your family, to your children, to your partner, to those who you love, all the way up to the macro and other lives that you change and impact through the choices you make. And I honestly believe that neither is better than the other. I think it's just about what matters to you and what you were called to do and what you were put on this earth for. I think it comes down to those kinds of things. But I think we do need to consider and think about our mortality. And not in a, it's going to all end real soon. Because, I keep putting out into the universe and I'm going to live to 120. And I'm going to do everything in my power to facilitate that becoming a reality. But, so I don't think about, I'm going to die real soon, or that, my life could end really soon. I'm planning to live forever, but I also don't want to piss away life because I have so much life to live. And I think it's that interesting introspection on it, that there is this weird combination between the two of them, that, I'm in my 30s, and people are like, oh my God, we're 30, what have we fucking done with our life? So even if you say you live to the average age of 80, you still got 50 fucking years to do shit with your life. You still have plenty of fucking time to make a life of note and of value, of worth, to do great things, to enjoy your life and live it to the fullest. But on the flip side, you also don't have time to waste on it. And I find that is the gap, that a lot of people want to talk about how much time they've got and, the things that they're doing. We've got time. You do. But it also doesn't mean you have time to piss away life, to waste it on shit that doesn't matter. This is the, reoccurring theme at the moment because, it's where I'm at, that we need to be ruthless to the things that do not matter, that do not serve you, that do not progress you forward, that do not bring value to your life. You need to be fucking unbelievably ruthless to those things. And, I keep coming back to, I define my life in 3 areas. That either it makes me money, it makes me grow, or it brings me happiness. If it doesn't check one of those 3 boxes, I am participating in it. And that was the whole point of phase 3, as I entered phase 3 of 126 to Greatness, that I had completed 126 days in a row in phase 1, and that was focused on the physical. Then phase 2 was refining that process, where I completed 126 days in a row with no days off, of refining that process. And in phase 3, as I enter phase 3 to complete 126 days in a row with no days off, it was about what am I leaving on the table? What is my human potential? What am I capable of doing if I cut out all the shit that doesn't serve me? And look, I'm still relatively young. I still have plenty left in the tank, as I was just discussing. I've got plenty of time to do stuff. But I also look back at where I'm currently at. And one of the few regrets I have about my life is that I didn't leave it all out on the table. And that is one that I come back to a lot. that I am okay with things not going my way. I'm actually okay with failing if I have given it my all. And there are distinct moments in my life and distinct areas where I'm like, I did not leave it all out on the table. I did not give it my all. I did not give it everything I could have. I left a lot on the table. I left a lot to be desired, that I didn't give it absolutely everything I possibly could have. And that's the thing that eats at me. It's not that the things didn't work out, because my life's pretty fucking great. Where I've ended up in life, I am not complaining about. My life is fantastic. And I am blissfully dissatisfied with where I'm at, because I know I can do more. I know I can achieve more. I know I can be more in this life if I leave it all out there, if I'm willing to give up those things that don't serve me. And so this is that one where it comes back to that of, what are you writing with this eulogy? What is the legacy that you are leaving for your family, for those around you, for those you serve, for your kids and future generations? What is the legacy that you are leaving? Is it the dad was always on his phone? The dad loved to watch TV. He loved to drink beer, drink alcohol, hit the whiskey every night. The dad died young because he wasn't willing to give up those things, that we missed out on years and decades of life with dad, of quality life, because, he didn't look after his health. He didn't make those right choices. That, dad became a vegetable, and the last 10 years of his life were for naught. What is the story that is being told about you? What is that legacy that you are leaving? Are you that cautionary tale? That tale that people tell, don't be like my dad. I have people who I train. I have clients who are like that, and they're like, their biggest driving factor is, I don't want to be my mother or my father. They don't want to be that version, that their parents were that cautionary tale of what not to fucking do. So what choices are you making? What legacy are you leaving? And the one I do come back to, because I get this and people are like, well, a lot of it's about being present. And I'm like, it so fucking is. You are 110% right about that. That so much of it is about being present. It's about being in the moment. It's about being there with your kids, with your wife, with those you care about. It's about being present in that moment. You know what helps facilitate that? Giving up those things that don't fucking serve you. Lo and behold. It's about being in great fucking shape. Allows you to have better clarity. It allows you to have better focus. It reduces brain fog. It gives you more energy. It allows you to participate in the things that you want to be able to do. I see parents all the time when I take my kids to the park who are just sitting there on their phone, completely oblivious to the world, oblivious to what their children are doing. Or worse yet, because I think this one is actually more heartbreaking, is watching their child like a hawk, wanting to participate, wanting to be part of it, and physically unable to participate in what their child is doing. The amount of children I've had to save from being stuck in equipment because their parents were physically incapable of getting up there and saving their child is scary. It is deeply, deeply concerning. To be honest, one time would have scared me, but it happens at least a couple of times a month that I have to go save someone else's child because they can't climb up onto the equipment to get them. What kind of legacy are you leading? And you want to talk about your eulogy? You want to talk about the legacy that you're leading? Your children will mirror you. The chances of your child being obese astronomically increases if you are. And if both parents are, it's essentially a done deal that they will end up being obese as well. And it's not genetic, it's learnt behavior. It's that they see you do it and then you teach it. The amount of obese children now, I think, is at 1 in 3 and predicted to reach 2 in 3. There is no acceptable reason that a child should ever be obese, let alone 66% of the population. They are full of energy. They are full of beans. All they want to do is fucking run around and be active. Feed them good food. Give them the capacity to get out and do shit. And be able to do it with them. Part of the reason why lots of kids don't anymore is because they just want to be like their parents and they want to participate in the same thing. So if you don't have the physical capacity to get out there and do it as well, why would the children want to? Part of the reason why my children are so fucking active is because we are. They work out because they want to be like dad. They want to do the same things as dad. So they work out like dad does. And the one I keep coming back to is my daughter can deadlift 24 kilos. She has no fucking clue what a deadlift is. We don't talk about that. That's just the weight that daddy lifts. So she lifts it just like daddy does. She wants to do the things that daddy does. She does weighted carries up and down our driveway. She likes to just pick up weights and throw them around. She likes to carry heavy objects. Kids are drawn to these things by nature. Give them the capacity and the outlet to go do those things. So you are writing your eulogy in every action that you take, in the life choices that you make, in the decisions that you choose to make. You are signing up and showing them what is possible. So are you going to be the inspiration that leads your children and others around you to lead their best possible fucking life? Or are you going to be the cautionary tale? We made some new friends. They are friends of my daughter's. And so we went over to their place for lunch. And they were like, oh, we've prepared our healthy food for you. And I was like, oh, you didn't have to do that. I would have been fine. Like, that's really kind of you, and I appreciate that. And my wife just turns to me and she goes, you guilt and shame people into eating better and exercising just by your presence. And I was like, nobody has to do that. I'm just here. And they were like, oh, but you make us feel guilty for eating bad food and eating junk food and all that kind of stuff. And it's that moment where I'm like, yeah, your actions have value. Your actions have merit. Your discipline, and it's like I talked about the other day, your discipline should shame people. It should make them feel uncomfortable. It should make them question their choices and their decisions. And I don't do that deliberately. I don't deliberately make people question where they're at. It just happens by nature. It happens by them being associated with them because it holds up a fucking mirror to where they're at and the choices that they're making. And so by me being around and by the choices that I make for my life, they start going, are we making the right choices for us? Are we making the right decisions, taking the right actions for our best life? And lo and behold, often the answer is a big, resounding fucking no. Because they aren't. And so that's good. Your choices are creating inspiration for people. And you might not ever know it. As I said, I had no idea. I was completely unaware that this was the case until this lunch the other day, and my wife pointed it out to me. That being said, I'm reasonably oblivious on these things. It's just part of who I am. I'm just that way. But it just highlights that what is actually possible and what you can do and you can inspire. You can inspire other people to change, and you don't know what effect you could be having on these people by just being the best version of yourself, by showing up and being the greatest version. Because every day you're writing your eulogy. Every day you're writing the legacy that you're going to leave behind. And your children are the most perfect mirrored example of an embodiment of the choices that you make. And they're the micro choices that lead into the macro. They're the small choices that lead into the big ones. They're the ones that reflect into everything that you are. These are the decisions that make, because the tree falls the way it leans. So all those small decisions add up into a life lived. So what would that life say about you if you were to die today? What would that eulogy look like? What would that story be told as? What would the legacy that you leave behind be? Would you be happy with it? Would you be proud of it? As I said, would it say that, Dad liked his alcohol a bit too much, liked his food a bit too much, loved to sit on his phone, wasn't really around, wasn't present, didn't really participate? Or will it say that Dad was all in? Dad was present at every moment he could be. He gave us everything he could. He sacrificed everything that didn't matter for the things that did. He showed up as his best version every single day, and he led by example. And he showed us the way to lead the best life. Now, I'm not saying that I'm there yet, but it's something that I am cognizant of. It is something that I am aware of. It is something that I think about, and it is about the choices that I make. So all those micro choices add up into big things, into things that actually matter, into things that are important. So I think about them, and I want to reach my deathbed with no regrets that I left it all out there, that I didn't miss a single opportunity because I didn't do the work, that I didn't give it everything I had, that I didn't waste my life on things that didn't improve my life. If I can do that, if I can reach that point, and I know I will have lived a good life. I know that I would have left it all out there, because I know I would have been present. I know I would have been there for my kids. I know I would have showed up and loved them absolutely the best that I possibly could. And I would have given everything for them. And I will have left a legacy that they can continue on in who they are as people. So are you the inspiration, or are you the cautionary tale? And if you're going to be the cautionary tale, this is your moment to change. This is your moment. We don't need more of a clear and definitive sign than this one right here, that this is the time to change. This is your opportunity to become the best version of yourself. So if you're ready for that, let's get into Chasing Greatness Daily. Let's begin that process. Shoot me a message. Let's start you down that path to being the best version you can possibly be. The best version of yourself you can humanly be. If you're not quite there yet, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if you found something of value in this, if it spoke to you, if it inspired you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. But most importantly, please subscribe. It helps me, it helps you, it helps the algorithm know that I'm out here providing the value that you are looking for, and so that you won't miss an episode, because I'm here every single day sharing from the front. So please subscribe so that you don't miss any of that, because I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then.